Hi, kids. Hello. Welcome back once again to your favorite fun learning general knowledge sessions with Medha ma'am. How are you all? That's my favorite question. And you know why? Because when you say, ma'am, we are good, ma'am, we are awesome, it just makes my day. Yes? So I hope all my little kiddies out here are doing really, really well. If that's so, show me a thumbs up. Yes, everybody's doing rocking. Awesome. All right. So, what do we have in store today? Anyone? What are we going to discuss? So you must be thinking, ma'am is always talking something or the other about nature, about surroundings. Why is that so? Am I a nature lover? Am I a, some kind of a, some kind of a, like a geographical person? Well, you got it right. I am. Kids, if you actually open up your eyes and if you actually, truly see things around you, you will realize that nature is wonderful. It has created things which we cannot even imagine. Okay, can any of us imagine creating a river? Can we make a river? Maybe through some artificial things we can, but can we make it as perfect as it is made naturally? Can we? I don't think we can. Can we make a like a mountain? No. Maybe an artificial one. Maybe with something or the else. But what we find in a natural mountain, can we find anywhere else? No, we cannot. So, talking about these mountains, rivers, etc., what exactly are these is what we are going to study today, focusing on one particular aspect of it. And hence, kids, our today's topic is studying the landforms on the earth. Yes. So we will be talking about the major landforms and the different water features of the earth. Now, before we go further, I want to know, what are these landforms? As in, like, what are landforms? I don't know. Can anyone guess? Has anyone heard the name landform? Yeah? Or is it new to all of you? It's new, right? Oh, you haven't heard. Okay, before we talk in detail, kids, let us understand what is a landform. So let's break the word into two parts, okay? So it's land and form, okay? Land plus form makes a landform. What's a landform? Landform is anything, any structure that you see on the land. Okay, so land is earth. The surface of the earth is called land. Okay, any structure which is naturally made on this surface, okay, is called the landform. All right, now these landforms could differ in their structure, shape, size, color, height, etc., etc., etc. And hence, today we will have a look on all the major landforms that the nature has in store for all of us. Are you all ready? Show me a thumbs up. Yes? All right. So let us start with nothing else but the first one that we just spoke about, a mountain. All right. Now, what is a mountain? What do you think? Now, let's have a look at this picture. Ooh, this is beautiful. How many of you have seen something like this? Like something like this. Okay, I'm getting a lot of comments saying, ma'am, yes, ma'am, I live in mountains. Very beautiful. All right. Yes, I have been to mountains. Okay. We love mountains. Yes, kids. We all love mountains. So before we discuss further, what exactly is a mountain? Now, kids, mountains basically, I would say, are the tallest landforms. Okay, so if this is the base, this is the land, mountains rise much above the land, okay, much above the land, and they have steeping slopes like this, okay, like this. Some of them might be a little wavy, their structure might be like, a little breaky, rough, right? But when we have something like on this land, if we have some structure like this, is what we call a mountain. All right. Now, some mountains might be exactly pointed at the top like this, right? Everyone do like this with me. Make it like this. Yes. So we have a pointed top. Okay. While some could be a little round. Some could be a little round. So this is what exactly we understand by a mountain. Is that very, very clear to everyone? Show me a thumbs up. Yes. All right. So this was one thing very, very interesting about a mountain. And we have, heard before also about the tallest mountain, which is the tallest mountain in the world. Yes, very, very good. It is Mount Everest, right? It is Mount Everest, which is in Asia, right? So it is a really, really tall mountain, ice covered. We have different mountain ranges, like we have heard of Himalayas, we have heard of, Andes, lot of them, right? So now we are very, very familiar with what is a mountain. Yes, kids. The basic purpose of this session is to understand the very basic meaning of these different landforms. All right. So we are clear with the mountain. Let's have a look at our second landform. Yes, and that is a hill. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Ma'am, mountain, hill, it's just the same thing. Why are you teaching us separately? Well, my dear kids, no. Hill differs from a mountain. So let me give you an example here, okay? My hand is the base, okay? This is the land. Now there is one mountain which goes up till here, okay? And there is also a little rising from the land which goes only till here. It's only this high. It's only this high. So there is something which is this high, something which is only this high. Hence, the shorter ones are called hills. Okay. So basically, hills also rise above the land, but they are not as tall as mountain. Okay. And usually, they don't have those pointed tops. Like I said, the mountains could have pointed tops. Hill usually don't have pointed tops. They have those rounded ones. So, and you can easily actually go uphill. And if you can, have a little hint from this picture, this is about the ant hill. Yes, we all know about the ant hill. Ant hill is the home to ants. You're right. They can actually make those small hills from the mud, and they live in there, right? So that's why it is easily, they can actually easily climb their ant hills, right? So now we know the difference between a mountain and a hill. Is that very, very clear, everyone? Show me a thumbs up. Yes. So the taller one is a mountain, and a little shorter from that is a hill. Wonderful. All right. So done with two, the mountain and the hill. Let's move on to our third landform for today, and that is a plateau. Okay. So before we move, I want to know how many of you have heard about a plateau. What is a plateau? You can see from the picture and maybe just guess a little. What is exactly a plateau? Let's observe this picture carefully. Now, let me just see. I can see some tall structures rising above the land, but they are flat from the top. Can you all see? They are flat from the top, right? These structures are flat from the top. So this is my third kind of landform, which I call a plateau. Okay, so a plateau is basically very, very flat from the top. It rises above the land just like a hill or maybe a mountain, but it is not pointed, not round, but it is flat from the top. All right, like a plate, like a table. All right, you all have tables at home, so just like that. Okay, and you know what, kids? It's made in a very, very interesting way. So basically, the forces inside the Earth, our planet, there are a lot of forces inside the Earth. Okay, they keep pushing the big area upwards, and hence it just keeps coming upward, and this forms a plateau. All right. So now we know a mountain, a hill, and a plateau. All three are structures that rise above the land. Mountain could be very, very tall, okay? Could be pointed, could be round. Hill is never as tall as a mountain. It would just go a little bit, above the land, mostly rounded. Whereas a plateau could be anywhere between the previous two, but a flat top. Yes? Is it very clear, everyone? Now we know what's a mountain, what's a hill, and what is a plateau. Yes? Bingo. Very, very, very good. All right. So talking about the mountain, hill, and the plateau, let's look at what is our fourth landform, and is a very, very interesting one, what we call as a volcano. All right. So now imagine, okay, most of you probably would not know what is a volcano. Now just imagine a mountain. Okay, as you can see in the picture, just imagine a mountain and just imagine its top. Okay, so like there's a mountain, okay, and it's like this. Now suddenly something happens inside the mountain. Something happens inside the mountain, and this top of this particular mountain is not exactly closed, it is a bit open. Now whatever happens inside the mountain, it forces to come out. Okay, and that oozes out of the open top of that particular mountain. Are you now getting my point? Right? Can you see from this picture? Right? So basically a volcano is a mountain that opens downwards towards the pool of molten rock. So whatever that comes out of that particular mountain is called the molten lava. All right, so it just keeps growing inside, heating inside, and when there is a lot of pressure, the eruption occurs. Eruption means coming out. All right, it just bursts out. Okay, and then there is lava everywhere. There is lava. All right, though that lava actually converts into the different stone bases that we see near the mountains. All right, and these eruptions can be very, very dangerous because they actually go to very, very long distances. Right, they can be, there can be a lot of hot ash flows, there could be a lot of mudslides, there could be even floods that can even cause floods. Hence volcanic eruptions have been known to knock down entire forests also, because the forests around actually burn. Right, hence volcanoes are a little not so good things. Right, and kids, we have things like active volcanoes, erupting volcanoes, and extinct volcanoes, right? And this is the classified basis their time, as in if something is erupting right now, if volcano is has just erupted few years back, it could be called a erupting volcano. Okay, but something maybe like 10,000 years ago, even if 10,000 years ago a volcano has erupted, we will call it a active volcano. And extinct means it's been more than maybe a lakh years. Since ages it has not bursted, hence it's an extinct volcano. Right, I'm really sure you all are very clear with the concept of a volcano. So a mountain, hill, plateau, and now the fourth one, a volcano. All right, let's move on to our next one. Yes, are we all ready? Are we all set to see which one is it? All right. So after riding really, really high, rising high, we have come down to what is called a... Yes. So what are we seeing? We are seeing a boy enjoying the cycling in the fields. Yes. What is it, guys? This is what we call a plain. A very simple thing to understand. A plain could be a very, very large ground, a large area of land where there are no hills, no mountains, and you can see a lot of farming, you can see a lot of agricultural activities on such lands, right? Obviously, because you cannot do such activities on mountains or plateaus because they are of irregular shape. But agriculture and any such activities can be done on plain grounds that we call a plain. Yes, it's very, very clear? There's no confusion in here. Brilliant. Okay, let's quickly move on to our next landform, and this is a really interesting one, and we call it an island. Ooh, I'm already in love with this picture. Now, just basis the picture, how many of you want to go to this place? Yeah, we all want to. We all want to. Okay. So, kids, if I talk about an island, okay, you might just say, ma'am, this is a beach, right? There is a lot of sand. It looks like a beach. So, kids, an island. Suppose this is a land. My hand is a land. Okay, it's a body of land. But surrounding this is all water. There's no land surrounding it. Okay. Then this becomes an island. Yes? Are you clear now? So, an island is basically a body of land which is surrounded by water on all sides. All right. Now, you know what? There are some continents also that are surrounded by water on all sides. All right. But because they're so big, their size is so huge, we don't call it island. All right. We don't call it island. So, for example, if I talk about Australia, we know that it is the smallest continent. And we also call it Oceania, all right? It is surrounded by waters on all sides, but we do not call it an island, all right? Just because it is surrounded by water on all sides, we do not categorize it as an island, all right? So islands basically are not that huge. They are small pieces of land, but surrounded by waters on all sides. Is that very, very clear? Yes? Am I making sense? Perfect. Bingo. All right. So let's move on from an island to our next land reform, and that is a canyon. Woohoo! Canyon. Now, what is a canyon? This is a new thing for all of you, right? Can we see this wonderful picture? Let's just observe it for 10 seconds. What exactly is this picture saying? You know, instead of going on a typical definition, I just want to see the picture and understand what is this picture trying to tell us. Yes, okay, I'm getting something in my messages, chat boxes. Very good. We can see some water body and we can see some tall, something like mountains, okay? So, if I may say in a very, very easy language, a canyon is nothing but maybe like two mountains which have formed a valley in between and it is filled with water, right? Am I making sense? All right. So extreme, but that space in between the mountains is extremely huge. All right. It's not just a narrow space. So two big, huge mass of bodies, space between them built over a period of time is called a canyon. All right. Now, you might actually might not have heard about something called a Grand Canyon. Now, this Grand Canyon is a place, okay? It's located in the western part of United States of America, okay? This canyon is so huge that it had to be given the name of a Grand Canyon. So originally, it was not called a Grand Canyon. It was just a canyon, but it is so huge, you know, you can search for its pictures on Google saying Grand Canyon, and you will see what enormous structure it has. All right. It's more than 250 miles long, and there are areas where it is over a mile deep. So the place where there is water in between, the depth is also huge. All right. So this Grand Canyon has developed over and over and over and over of years. So many years we cannot even, imagine. All right. So I hope canyon is very, very clear to you. There's no confusion. Yes, we have talked about mountain, hill, plateau, volcano, very good, plain, island, and a canyon. Wonderful. Okay. All of these are all picture clear to you? Everyone show me a thumbs up. Picture clear? Shaky thumb? Great. Let's move on to our next land reform. All right. Now comes, ooh, it's the river. Okay. If I may talk about a river, I'm sure most of you are very, very, very familiar with what is a river. Yes, all of you are very familiar. What is a river? We have seen so many rivers. You know, staying in India, we have heard about so many rivers. So basically, if I may say river, you will say, ma'am, it's just a water body. Not really just a water body. A river is actually fresh water. Okay. It flows across the surface of land and it enters into the sea. All right. Why do we call it fresh water? Because if you see where do rivers begin from, they actually begin from higher grounds, like, mountains, hills, all right, or let's say where there's a lot of rainwater or snow melts. Yes, that actually causes the formation of a river. Yes, all right. So river is not just any, ordinary water body. It's a very, very important source of water to a lot of states in a lot of countries, all right. And it is always fresh water which flows across the land. Is that clear, everyone? We now know about what is a river. Yes, brilliant. Okay, what comes after the river? Let's see. And we have the jungles or the forests. Now, everyone knows what is a jungle. Yes? The favorite definition of every child, ma'am, animals live in jungles. Yes? All right. Yes, you're very, very correct. If I would say jungles are everywhere in the world, all around the world, there are a lot of jungles, okay? And if I say jungles are nothing but thick forests, okay, they are thick forests, there are a lot of plants, different type of plants, different types of animals, they all come together and they form a beautiful jungle. All right, now, you know the development of jungle also needs a very, very warm environment, hot temperatures. So you would see most of the jungles are typically found near the equator. So if I may talk, there are a lot of jungles near the Central America, Southern America. Yes, there are in other areas as well, but in terms of size, they are huge when they are found near the equators. Yes, am I making sense here? Right? And of course, different types of jungle have different types of flora, fauna, animals. They all differ from place to place. Yes, they are home to some wonderful species of animals which we might not have even heard of. We might not even seen them. Right? So jungles are very important as they give protection to animals, and we must not cut the forests and the jungles. Please remember that. Yes, save forests, save jungles. Wonderful. So we have been through the jungles as well. Let's quickly see what is the next one in store, and that is a desert. Huge sand here, sand there, sand everywhere. And that is what exactly a desert is. You know what, kids? Desert covers over 1/5 of the earth land area, and every continent, all the 7 continents have different types of deserts. Okay. um we can just call them dry lands. Reason being that the deserts receive, any place which receives less than 10 inches of rain every year, right, is, demarcated as a desert. All right. They have little, the places have very little moisture, they're extremely dry. And of course, you can find a lot of camels in these areas, because the camel are called the ship of the desert, because they are their body structure is in such a way that they are able to walk very easily on the desert. We humans, we cannot walk very easily on the deserts. If you have ever been to a desert, your foot can actually just, go, and you can be stuck inside the sand. It is that thick. All right. So we use camel there to, move from places. All right. I hope everyone is clear with the desert. Has anyone here ever been to a desert or lives in an area which is close to a desert or something? Any friend of mine? Yes. Okay. Wonderful. There are some who have been to deserts. That's absolutely wonderful. All right. So I have now understood the desert as well. Are there any more landforms left? Are there any landforms left? I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. Is there anyone left? There is. Yes. Now, kids, why I was focusing on this one. We are going to study this one in a greater detail. Yes. And our detailed topic or the detailed landform for today is actually the oceans. All right. Now, what is an ocean? What is an ocean? Let's see what is the next landform. Is there any, or I don't know if there is not. I want to see which is the next landform. I just want to see which is the next landform. Woohoo! Now, this is the landform, kids, that we are going to focus on today, and that is called the ocean. Now, what is an ocean? Can we just see lot of water in this picture? Yes, like just lot of water, right? So I just want to understand what exactly is an ocean. What exactly is an ocean? So oceans have, if I may say in easy language, lot of water, something that we cannot imagine as much water is there. The water is salty, okay? Uh, I would say the oceans make the biggest constituents of water on earth, right? There are different segments, but we actually divide oceans into five major from like oceans. Okay, if I have to talk about the five oceans, all right, and if I want to see which one's the biggest, which one's the smallest, let us see how to start. Can we all see the five oceans? Yes, can we all see? It's just going from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let me see the five oceans together. All right. And if I may start with the first one that we are going to concentrate, can we see the Pacific Ocean right there? Yes, we can see the Pacific Ocean. Yes, we can see the Pacific Ocean. And after the Pacific Ocean, which one do we have, kids? Let's see it again. I would see the Indian Ocean. Okay, I'm just saying the random things. Okay, I'm not saying it sequence wise. Okay, I'm not saying sequence wise. Pacific Ocean I saw, Indian Ocean I saw Atlantic Ocean, I saw Atlantic Ocean also. And I saw an Arctic Ocean. Oh yeah, I've seen the four ones. Which one's left? Yes, I could see the Southern Ocean as well. All right, kids. So these are the five oceans. If I may just take the name: Pacific Ocean, Southern Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean. All right. Now, talking about these five oceans, we will just see their points going from the biggest to the smallest. All right. So it is actually PA, so Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, and Arctic. You can just remember their initials PAISA. PAISA, right? This is a easier way to remember the sequence from the biggest to the smallest. I'll repeat again: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, and Arctic. And let's quickly have a look at some pointers of the Pacific Ocean. Now, Pacific, kids, is the biggest ocean of the world. It covers more than 30% of the Earth's surface. It's that huge. Yes, it is really. And if I may talk about the name Pacific Ocean, it comes from a Latin word called pacificus, which means very, very peaceful. All right. And so we would say Pacific Ocean is a peaceful ocean. All right. Okay. Now, a very interesting thing about the Pacific Ocean is that the lowest point on the earth, lowest point on the earth, is called Challenger Deep. Don't get confused. Don't say Mariana Trench. Mariana Trench, the end of Mariana Trench is Challenger Deep. That is the deepest, the lowest point. All right. It is located in the Pacific Ocean and at the end of the Mariana Trench. Okay. And it is 35,827 feet below the ground level. Yes. Crazy. Whew, it is crazy, kids. Yes. Now, I also want to tell you one more point that, the largest coral reef. Now, you don't know what is a coral reef. So basically, there are beautiful corals. There are beautiful, it's a structure of the corals. It's called the Great Barrier Reef, is also located in the Pacific Ocean. Okay. Now, it has been affected a lot due to climatic change, and lot of things are being done to save it. Okay. But we must remember that the largest coral reef in the world is located off the Australian coast and is called the Great Barrier Reef and is a part of the Pacific Ocean. Yes? All right. Is Pacific Ocean all fun for you? We know it's the biggest one, covers 30% of the Earth's surface, lowest point, Challenger Deep, and, it's at the end of the Mariana Trench and the largest coral reef. The Great Barrier Reef is also a part of this humongous ocean. All right, let's move on to the second one in the row is Arctic Ocean. Okay, now Arctic, kids, is the smallest one. It's the smallest one. I'm not going here from the biggest to the smallest. Okay, this is a random selection, but I've already told you the sequence. Okay, so right now we are studying about the Arctic Ocean. Okay, now, Arctic, kids, is located somewhere on the North Pole. Okay, North Pole. And what are we seeing here? We're seeing a little polar bear dancing. Yes, because it is this Arctic Ocean, it has all ice. Okay, and there are many, many polar bears which are living on the Arctic ice. Yes, literally so many. Okay, and the fact is, it's a sad part, but the Arctic Ocean's ice, is shrinking every year by 8%. Yes, shrinking means it's melting, it's going away because of the climatic change, because of the humans' activities that we have done. The bad thing that we have caused to our nature is doing that. Yes, I know. It's just a little sad thing, but I'm sure we will do something to save our environment very, very soon. Right? And a very interesting thing that I want to tell you is that there's a jellyfish which is called, it's a very funny name it's called lion's mane jellyfish. Okay. That is also found on the Arctic Ocean waters. Right? And it's a very beautiful, it looks very, very beautiful. This is mainly all about Arctic because Arctic is completely covered with ice. So there are all icy features, which are, associated with it. There are a lot of Arctic ground features that are, named after Arctic explorers. So Arctic explorers means people who have been to that area, seen that. Okay. It's called the Nansen Basin. Yes, that's one such example. All right. So everyone is okay with the polar land, the polar bear land? Yes, so if I may say, which one is the polar bear land? You will say, what? Arctic Ocean. Wonderful, kids, wonderful. So now after Pacific, after Arctic, which one do we have in store? Yes, we have the Southern Ocean, kids. We have the Southern Ocean. Now, what's with the Southern Ocean? So, why is it called the Southern? Because it is located around the South Pole. So Arctic, we decided around the North Pole. Okay. Southern Ocean is around the South Pole. It crosses the Antarctic Circle in the Southern Hemisphere because it is in the Southern Hemisphere, like the down south side. That's why it's called the Southern Ocean. And why is this my little penguin dancing? Because Southern Ocean is the home of emperor penguins. We call them emperor penguins and wandering albatross. Okay, albatrosses and penguins. Southern Ocean is a home to these awesome creatures, and that's why Ta-da! We can see this little penguin dancing. Right, kids? Okay. Very, very good. All right. Bring on to the next one, and we have the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, Atlantic Ocean, now we just discussed, okay, is actually on the second one in the row. So Pacific being the largest, Atlantic Ocean is the second biggest ocean in the world, kids. All right. And its location is something like, it's, just imagine the three continents: America, so North America, South America, Europe, and Asia somewhere. It's, it's in between these. Okay. So America, Europe, Asia. Yes, it just lies in between these three. Okay. Now, if I may say about the size, uh, Atlantic Ocean is only half the size of the Pacific Ocean and covers approximately 20% of the Earth's surface. So, kids, if you see 30% Pacific Ocean, 20% Atlantic Ocean, 50% of the Earth's surface is only covered by these two oceans. Whoo, what? Where do we live? Where there's space? Crazy, right? Yes. So Atlantic Ocean covers 20% of the Earth's surface. All right. And it's, however, somehow it is growing in size. The Atlantic Ocean is growing in size, and it is spreading across the mid-Atlantic coast. Now, there is one thing which is very, very interesting about the Atlantic Ocean, and that is that there is something called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. What is it? Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Ridge is again some kind of a landform, okay? It is the longest mountain range on Earth. Yes. Can you imagine? And you'll be like, ma'am, what? Yes, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is the longest mountain range on Earth. It spreads from Iceland to Antarctica beneath the Atlantic. Yes, it is beneath the Atlantic. Hence, you might not have actually heard its name in a very, very popular way. The other mountain ranges names are taken. But because it is beneath the Atlantic, that's why we don't really discuss it. But the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is actually the longest mountain range on Earth. Yes, crazy. And for all my little animal lovers here, fish lovers, there's a shark. Okay, there's a shark, very, very famous shark. Its name is called the thresher shark. Okay, that's also found in the Atlantic. Oh my God, Atlantic is home to so many things, right? Okay, so brushing up everything about the Atlantic, let's see our last ocean that we have, and that is the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean, all right. As the name says, kids, Indian Ocean is located between Africa, Australia, and Asia. Okay, something like that. So, roughly, if I give you an example, if you remember the map of India, it goes down like this. Right here, we have Kanyakumari down here, then we have Sri Lanka down here, and the whole water body which is below that is Indian Ocean. Yes, it's all Indian Ocean. Okay. If I would say Indian Ocean, what is one crazy fact about Indian Ocean is that it is the largest breeding ground for the world of humpback whales. Humpback, there is a whale which has a hump on its back. It's like this. Okay, they are called humpback whales. And Indian Ocean provides the largest, you can find the largest number of humpback whales in the Indian Ocean waters. Crazy, right? Crazy it is, okay? And also there is a fish, okay, there is a fish which was thought that it has become extinct, which means it has finished. It doesn't, we can't see it anymore. It is not available anymore. It has become extinct. All right, it is over. But it was suddenly found in the waters of the Indian Ocean. Yes, it's called the coelacanth. It's called the coelacanth, okay, and it's found in the warm waters of the islands between Madagascar and Mozambique. But it was supposed to be over, all right. Yes, wonderful, isn't it? My goodness. See, even the extinct fish can just become, well, you're back. Indian Ocean is great, right? And kids, also what we need to know is the northern Indian Ocean. So, everything has a northern part, southern part. So, the northern part of the Indian Ocean is a very, very important transport route. You know, there are ships that move on the oceans, right? So it's a very important ocean route for the oil, as it connects to all the oil rich countries. These Middle East countries, they're all very, very, they have a lot of oil with them. Yes. So it's a connecting route between these countries with Asia. All right. So every day there are a lot of tankers that carry a lot of oil, from the their zones to our lands. And we cannot even imagine the size of those containers that they have, and the amount of oil that they have. So it's absolutely crazy, beyond our imagination. Yes, wonderful, isn't it? Right? So this is about the Indian Ocean and our five oceans. Yes, if I name them once again, about the list from the biggest to the smallest, I will call it as Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, and Arctic Ocean. All right, kids? Brilliant. So we did so many landforms, right? We spoke about mountain, hill, we spoke about river, jungle, we spoke about plateau, volcanoes, islands, and finally, we spoke about oceans. These all kids are a part of our Mother Earth, right? The big, big, huge, huge Earth. But you know what? There's something really sad in is that all of these, beautiful landforms are getting affected due to our stupid human activities. Like we are cutting the forests because we have to construct buildings, right? We are destroying the plains, right? We are, when we go on the mountains to see their beauty, we just throw all the dirt there. We throw our cold drink bottles, our chips packets, our chocolate wrappers. We are just not doing anything. We are throwing the rubbish in the rivers. What are we doing with these landforms? Because I just said in the beginning that these are a gift of nature. And even if we try, we cannot create the original, which is created by the nature, by the God, by the Mother Earth. And hence, we must not do any such thing that actually kills these beautiful, beautiful natural landforms. Do you all agree with me? Yes, do you all agree with me? Brilliant. So, before we come to an end of this session, I want all of you to promise me that we will do what this picture is asking us to: take care of our Mother Earth, take care of the animals, take care of the jungles, take care of the forests, the plants, the rivers, the mountains. Don't hurt them, don't damage them, just love your nature. And it will give you an immense love in return. Yes? Brilliant, kids. I am really, really happy to have this session with all of you. And I am sure that you people have gotten a lot of information from this. And so keep studying, keep finding new things, and please, please, as promised, don't destroy nature and let not anyone else also destroy it. Please spread the positive message. Yes? And with that, I will take your leave. Before I end my session, I really want to say to everyone, please, please, please don't destroy your nature, don't damage it, love it, and in return, it will love you immensely. All right. And now I take your leave. Everyone, stay blessed, sleep well, eat well, stay healthy. Bye bye. Take care. Bye.